746 days. That is the current average wait time for an immigration hearing. Back in the fall of 2017, the Justice Department approved a plan designed to reduce the backlog in immigration court, but it may not be working quite according to plan. For more on this, we're joined now by Alma Rosa Nieto with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Thank you so much for being here, Alma.
Thank you.
We have heard time and time again from the current administration that they want to see immigration, but only if it's done legally, if people wait their turn in line. But going that route takes time. Let's go back in time a little bit to before the current administration. How long on average did it take?
Well, it depends on whether you're talking about an immigrant visa for someone applying through family or someone going to court where you can also request immigration benefits. But the wait times in court were a lot shorter, that's for sure. We could tell a client in a for sure way, saying, well, maybe in a few months you'll have a hearing, and in a year you'll have a final merits hearing where they'll determine if you're eligible to stay and have a green card or you'll be deported. Now, family petitions, those have been backlogged for many years. An example, an American citizen mother wanting to immigrate her child, say from Mexico, that's an adult, the wait is 22 years. And that's the waiting in line period that so many people are so prompt to just say, wait your turn in line. Well, waiting a turn in line can be 2 decades or more to get a green card.
Yeah. So what's been changing lately that has led to this backlog that seems to be going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger?
Well, as we all know, there's a drive for a wall, a physical wall with the southern border. There's also another wall that AILA calls the invisible wall. And it's a wall that's been mounting and getting bigger and bigger. And that means that they're putting blocks and pillars, making it more and more difficult for immigrants to get a green card that have the right to get one. They're married to United States citizens. They have other methods of getting a green card. However, the waits are long in that process as well. USCIS, which is the Office of Immigration that grants benefits, is highly backlogged. And the backlog is not explained. The increase in volume of cases is very small compared to last year and the year before, yet the backlog is doubled and tripled.
Yeah, and I want to actually give some numbers to this. According to a Syracuse University study, they track data from the immigration courts. The pending caseload has grown by more than 26%, from roughly 656,000 cases to now roughly 830,000. That's a big jump. And then you add onto that the recent temporary federal government shutdown. How did that affect the situation?
Oh, that affected tremendously. All the time that the government was shut down, of course, cases were not heard. And the cases that were programmed during that time are in limbo, so they're going to be postponed. So not only did we have a backlog, but now we have a couple of months of backlog in addition to what existed. So people, of course, are very nervous and panicked because some of those people that are going to immigration court are going because they have a right to have a green card through other methods. So their hearings are now being deferred years, and of course their status is in limbo.
And that's what I thought was really interesting too. I mean, if you look at the other effects of the government shutdown, maybe you plan your trip to DC and the Smithsonian is closed. Oh, okay, great. Well, we'll schedule another trip next month and we'll just go once the shutdown is over. But my understanding is that often like 3 years is about the average. If you missed out during that window on a court date, you have to wait an entire other 3 years. What's the impact of that?
Oh, the impact is great, not only to the applicant itself, the respondent that's going to court, but to society. Many of these people that are applying have a work authorization while they're in the process of a court hearing, and sometimes they work for companies where they're indispensable. And so this limbo-ness of when were you going to get your green card or when are you going to get a work authorization renewal, and the applicant has to say, I don't know, and I just heard that the waits are double and triple. So it's affecting the economy, it's affecting businesses, it's affecting applicants, and it's sending a wave of fear amongst the immigrant community.
And it seems to be a bit contrary to everything that the current administration said it was trying to do. They were trying to speed up the process, and now we have immigrants here for even longer. And I can't imagine that President Trump is too happy about that. Do you have any sense of any move to try to speed things up once again? What could be done to speed things up?
Well, we need transparency. We need to know why the USCIS is so backlogged when there's not an increase in volume of applications. So AILA is pushing for Congress to do investigative work to say, USCIS, show us some transparency, show us what the plan is to correct this backlog, and show us why there's a backlog so that maybe applicants themselves can help in expediting their cases. So that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Congress gets involved.
Alma Rosa Nieto with AILA, which of course stands for the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. We'll have some final observations on immigration. That's coming up when Inside the Issues returns.